One player kissed his teammate. Another threw a banana at a player. These are the most inappropriate moments in NHL history. And first up, pay close attention to Alex Ovechkin. He's about to take away his opponent's ability to have kids.
Teams, and now Frederick greeted by Ovechkin. They have gone at each other tonight. They do it again.
Sheesh. But that's just one of the 20 inappropriate moments in this video. Because at number 19, watch a goalie become best friends with Mother Nature.
And they're going to clear Fleury's crease. They're going to say he put snow in there. I'm not sure, right?
Wow. This dude really tried protecting the net with snow. And if a player is willing to go that far to prevent a goal, the question can't help but be asked, what won't players do?
Rangers number 79 has been awarded match penalty for spitting.
Oh, there's Drew Doughty.
Spitting on your opponent? That's straight up disrespectful. But Andrew Ferris is even more disrespectful. See, he went 66 playoff games without scoring a single goal. From May 10th, 2001 to April 20th, 2011, he owned hockey's longest cold streak. But then came April 21st, 2011. That's when the unthinkable happened.
And you know, that good on him. He's got his team back in the hockey game. But it's what he does after he scores the goal that enrages me. And Andrew Ferris, you better get ready.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Dang, I was finally starting to feel bad for this dude. And then he starts BS like this. However, players aren't the only ones who like crossing the line, because one fan left nothing up to imagination. Man, this has Janet Jackson written all over it. And while one fan was busy showing off her assets, another fan took a page from the movie theater.
Things they like today. They like the fact that they're playing really well in the neutral zone.
Was that popcorn buttery or sweet? Because if you ask me, it looked pretty salty. But next up, one player is about to take salty to a whole new level. Because it's one thing to disagree with a bad call, it's another to do this.
That slid into the skates of the referee. Roenick's mouth bleeding. He's upset that penalties weren't called on several occasions on him.
Wow, I can't believe he just did that. So after the game, the reporters caught up with Jeremy Roenick to hear it straight from the source.
Third period, I'm in on a breakaway and the kid's stick comes up, hits me right in the face. Blaine Angus standing just right in front of me. He says he doesn't see it. I mean, what the hell is he looking at? You know, they have to take responsibility for the way that they referee. You know, National Hockey League has to step in and tell these guys to open up their eyes. I mean, Blaine Angus standing right in front of me. I have the puck. He says he doesn't see it. How does he not see it?
Between throwing his water bottle and ranting about the referees, this man nearly lost his sanity. But compared to our 13th moment, Roenick should consider himself lucky. Because a few bad calls aren't the same as getting attacked by a spider.
It's just game number one. The water cooler moment will be this incident right here. At the end of the first period, Alex Burrows biting the finger of Patrice Bergeron.
What is it with athletes and biting other players? I mean, first there was Mike Tyson, then there's Luis Suarez, and now even NHL players are hooked? Meanwhile, I'm not sure if our next moment is inappropriate or just flat out bizarre.
He's got the talking to the trainer. He pulls it out, and he says, how much do I get?
Dang, the Tooth Fairy got a work cut out for her tonight. But so do referees, because one almost got murdered.
Going to try and make his way to the bench, and there's the collision with Don Henderson. He doesn't even see the linesman.
Man, who knew being a referee was so physically demanding? But I also didn't know about our 10th moment. See, in April 2016, all hell broke loose at a Flyers game. The game was a tribute to the team's legendary owner, Ed Schneider, who died just a week prior. In honor of Schneider, light-up bracelets were left on every seat for 20,000 fans. Before the game, they made quite the show. This seemed like the perfect way to honor such an influential figure. But that's when the game started, and it didn't take long for things to start getting out of hand. The Washington Capitals got out to a lead and never looked back. And before long, they found themselves leading 4-1. Fans were fed up, so they responded with the ultimate disrespect.
And started throwing the bracelets onto the ice. It rained bracelets.
How do you think this was bad enough? Players were getting belted by bracelets, for crying out loud. Thousands of bracelets were flying in every direction. But it would only get worse because the bracelets were almost impossible to see on the ice. That's when the Flyers organization tried to put an end to the chaos.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hold those wristbands in your hands.
But seriously, it's Philadelphia. What did they expect to happen? As crazy as that was, there are still 9 moments ahead that'll blow your mind. From crazy all-star game drama to wanting to cuddle with your opponent, you're not gonna want to look away. But first, it's our 9th moment. A moment I like to call the awkward chair pose.
Situation like this stayed, look at how long this stays. This is the wheelbarrow race, or it's a new yoga pose, the downward desert dog, not sure exactly.
I believe that is the awkward chair pose.
The awkward chair.
Awkward?
I just hope their wives aren't watching. But you know who is watching? The commentators. And you're not gonna believe the stuff that goes through their minds.
The pee in his whistle. What did he say? The pee in his whistle was not moving. He had to get it loose, and they figured it out. Now it works, and he's going to go back at it. We've had a lot of malfunctions, but I don't know if we've seen that.
Yo, that's imposter-like activity right there. But if there's one thing I do know about hockey players, it's that they aren't ashamed of their sexuality. Because with millions watching, you'd think they keep things family-friendly. But instead, the opposite is true.
Shot, he scores!
Thinking Volpe, he's been... Uh-oh. How far can you go with this, boys? I know closeness is close to...
Hey, yo, chill. You can't be cheating on me like that. Although for number 6, it's one of the most interesting traditions in all of sports. It all started in the 2002 Stanley Cup playoffs when 2 Nashville fans decided to have some fun. So what'd they do? They smuggled a catfish into the game. Then they did something even crazier. They threw the fish onto the ice as a symbol of good luck. Little did they know, this was the boost the Predators needed. They wound up winning and a tradition was born. Since then, fans have done anything and everything in their power to keep the tradition alive and smuggle fish into games. They've duct taped them to their bodies, stuck them inside coolers, and even hid them inside pantyhose. However, in 2017, they decided to raise the stakes. It was Game 6 between Nashville and the Pittsburgh Penguins, and in the opening minutes of the game, fans were on a mission.
4 minutes in, and that's catfish number 5, I think, on the ice.
Yeah, Matt Cullen just looked down as he saw something towards, and another catfish finds its way.
Not 1, not 2, but 6 catfish in the opening 4 minutes. Tell us in the comments, is this record getting broken anytime soon? But fans aren't just good at starting traditions. They're also good at getting under players' skins. Imagine getting suspended for 6 games and fined $25,000, all because you got into a fight with a teenager.
Hit from Malhotra, and you know Stalvich, he is ready to go at any time. A pretty good shot on Stalvich. I couldn't see who it was.
Oh, he's in the fans. Oh, he's got the fans now.
Speaking of which, our next player is just that, a teenager. His name is Connor Bedard, and he's only 18 years old. And this offseason, the Blackhawks made him the first pick of the 2023 NHL draft. But despite his age and massive expectations, he wasted no time making an impact. This season, he leads all NHL rookies in points, assists, goals, and shots. And because of it, he did something no other player has. He is officially the youngest player ever to be selected to an NHL All-Star game. But not everyone is happy about his success, especially those who have been in the league a long time. That's when things became dangerous.
Kurashev and go. Bedard got hit hard. Gutman sends it through, and that skips wide of goal. Bedard skating off Polino.
And just like that, Bedard's historic season might be winding to an end. With a fractured jaw, he'll be out of action until March at the earliest. However, it's still not as inappropriate as our final 3 moments. Because in 2016, fans made one of the most puzzling decisions of all time. See this player? His name is John Scott. And if you don't know who he is, you aren't alone. During the 2015-2016 season, he was next to irrelevant. Before All-Star Weekend, he only recorded 1 point in 11 games played. The rest of the games, he was a healthy scratch. Nevertheless, fans started a revolution. They wanted to abuse the all-star voting system and give a no-name like John Scott the experience of a lifetime. Hence the phrase #VoteJohnScott went trending on Twitter, and the rest was history. On January 2nd, 2016, Scott was announced as the winner of the NHL All-Star Game fan vote. He went from a non-factor all season long to the all-star captain representing the Pacific Division of the Western Conference. That's when the NHL knew they had to step in. So the NHL, along with Scott's team, the Coyotes, requested him to remove himself from the All-Star team. But Scott wasn't about to pass up a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The 2016 Honda NHL All-Star MVP scored 2 goals in the tournament and wins as a write-in candidate, John Scott!
Lesson learned. dreams do come true. Yet for number 2, Brad Marchand solidifies himself as one of the dirtiest players in NHL history. This player is the definition of inappropriate. I mean, bro once got suspended for spearing a player in the no-no zone.
Not quite as good at that as Pastrnak is, but of course we haven't seen Pastrnak knock anybody out. Marchand skating away.
But that still got nothing on what he did to Ryan Callahan. So much so, it had people questioning if he was part dog.
Marchand up to his usual antics. Oh, it is a night of spite here in Boston.
Licking your opponent in the face? Nah, bro, that's wild. Let's see if Brad Marchand has a good explanation.
He punched me 4 times in the face, so, he just kept getting close. Nothing big.
Okay, Marchand, we'll let you off the hook this time. Unfortunately, Marchand wasn't about to stop his crazy antics. He was just getting started, and his tongue was ready for part 2.
Now watch, he's got the hole, he gets a hole, you see, you have him, and he's going...
How is my man gonna lick 2 different players? We gotta put an end to this madness. Cause the interview after the game all but confirmed it. Bro's gone off the rails.
Did you lick Komarov? Thanks. Or was it a nuzzle, or what was it?
I thought he wanted to cuddle. I was just trying to get close to him.
What is it about Komarov that makes you want to cuddle with him so much?
He keeps trying to get close to me, so I just don't know if he's gonna think for me or what, but it's cute.
Man, just when I thought this couldn't get any weirder, we find out this man has a tongue fetish. Which brings us to a far less bizarre moment, but a moment way more inappropriate. See, you'd like to think that racism doesn't exist, but there are times like 2011 where it becomes painfully clear there's still work to be done. In a preseason game between the Flyers and Red Wings, Wayne Simmonds was just minding his business and focusing on his game, when all of a sudden, one fan's actions made it impossible to do so. See, the game was coming down to the wire. The score was tied 3-3, and that meant one thing. The game was heading to a shootout. But once the shootout began, Simmonds noticed something unusual being thrown from the stands. Now, the Flyers ultimately won the game, but let's be honest, that could have mattered less at this moment. A fan just threw a banana on the ice. This single action sparked outrage across the entire NHL.
I felt like the fans in London were pretty respectful to not only their players, but the visiting players that came in as well. I think that's so disrespectful. I'm honestly pretty shocked right now.
I think it's just a classless act by that fan, and something that shouldn't happen. But things like that happen still in the world, and it's just unfortunate.
They're throwing something on the ice, and we realize it's after the penalty shot. It's banana, and I think it's brutal and something you don't want to see in sports at all. You want to get away from racism like that, and I felt terrible for him.
Despite all the drama, it's nice to see the league having Simmonds back, which goes to show the NHL might get out of hands at times, but deep down, the players have nothing but respect for one another. But now that this video is coming to a close, a new video is about to begin. So click that video, grab some popcorn, and enjoy. Peace.